Washington Capitals forward Nicklas Backstrom underwent hip resurfacing surgery this offseason, which is a rather complicated procedure. He is 34 years old, coming off a 47-game campaign last season with 6 goals and 25 assists, and is expected to miss most of, if not all, of the regular season in 22-23. Backstrom has stated he intends to play the season, but until then, he will leave a massive hole down the middle. He has been the #1 center for the Capitals for a number of years now, over a decade to be honest with you, and his absence on special teams will be evident. He has been viewed as one of the key options on the first power play unit and has been utilized on the penalty kill from time to time. So really, can the Capitals compete at the same level without Nicklas Backstrom? And the easy answer is yes. The Capitals have made some solid additions up the middle and have some young guns ready to make an impact with increased roles in the NHL. Evgeny Kuznetsov will likely be getting most of, if not all, the first-line ice time during the season. He is coming off a 78-point season through 79 games, while newly signed Dylan Strome will either take that spot away from him or become a mainstay in the top 6 as a second-line center. Strome, who's 25, is coming off a 22-goal season and a 26-assist performance through 69 games with the Chicago Blackhawks. Backstrom has been a leader in Washington ever since joining the team in 2006, when the Capitals drafted him 4th overall at the draft. Through the years, he has become one of the best players to ever wear a Capitals jersey. His playmaking ability shows throughout season after season as he leads the franchise in assists with 747. He's also added 264 goals, totaling 1,011 points and placing him second in all-time Capital scoring behind none other than Alex Ovechkin. His offensive ability is a massive loss that the Capitals will expect others to pick up on, but aside from scoring, Backstrom has solidified himself as a leader off the ice. During the 2010-11 season, he was named an assistant captain and has had the A on his sweater ever since. It's most likely that Lars Eller and Nick Dowd will likely fill out the 3rd and 4th line center positions, and there is a good chance that Alexei Protas earns an opportunity to crack the bottom 6 right out of training camp, although I think the Capitals trust Dowd and Eller just a bit more right now due to more experience. Eller was 7th in Capital scoring last season with 13 goals and 18 assists through 72 games and was a huge part of the penalty kill. Dowd, on the other hand, wasn't utilized as much on the penalty kill, but did spend some time on it. He finished the season 12th in Capital scoring with 10 goals and 14 assists through 64 games, which was a career year for the 32-year-old. All things considered, the Capitals look like a team that can still compete at a very high level without Backstrom in their lineup. It's gonna hurt, and it's something the team will have to get used to for the first bit of the season, but I think they're strong enough to get it done. When you look at the Capitals' prospect pool, it isn't as strong as some of the other pools that are on the NHL, and unfortunately there isn't anyone quite ready to make the jump to the NHL to cover one of the 4 open centerman positions just yet. 25-year-old Damian Ryatt was drafted by the Capitals back in 2016 and currently plays in the NL, which is Switzerland, and he's expected to play for the entirety of next season. After spending some time in the minors with the Hershey Bears and then being loaned to, I believe it's pronounced Lausanne HC of the NL, still in Switzerland, it's safe to say he won't be ready for any NHL action sometime soon. When you look at the Hershey Bears, which is their AHL team, funny enough, the name is Bear Hughes is a name that pops up a lot as a young guy that could be ready for a shot in the NHL in just a few years. The Caps selected him 140th overall in the 2020 NHL entry draft, but never signed him. Instead, the Bears inked him and kept him around in the organization. Hughes won't be ready for NHL ice for at least the next couple of seasons, so he isn't a guy that the Capitals will really turn to either. The point is that the Capitals lack the centerman depth that some fans may want in the case Backstrom doesn't come back at all this season, but I don't think there's really any reason to worry. If all else fails and injuries start to hurt the team a bit more than originally expected, moving a couple of guys in and out of their secondary positions won't hurt. McMichael is a guy that can play center and wing, so he would likely be the first option. So should the Capitals trade for another center? That could be another possibility that pops up, and so Washington should be safe going into the season with the roster they have right now, in my opinion. That said, it never hurts to bolster a position in your lineup. If Strome doesn't pan out and or Kuznetsov doesn't have a hot start, there are plenty of centermen who will come up in trade rumors this offseason, including Jonathan Toews, who may be a little pricey for the Capitals but could work. There's also JT Miller, who has been in and out of the rumor mill since the season ended. I would love to see Miller join the Capitals, but I don't like the idea of giving up too many young assets for a player that may not resign after the conclusion of this season. At the end of the day, the Capitals have some flexibility. They have a very strong team going into the 22-23 season, even without Backstrom. They could bring in someone new like Miller or Toews, but both players would cost way too much. The Capitals are a playoff team and shouldn't have to make any major moves to change their direction. Losing Backstrom is a massive blow, of course, but the team has done a fantastic job of filling out their depth. Should the team have a bad start, maybe their direction changes slightly and they consider making a cost-effective move, but I have faith they will return to the playoffs and win a series for the first time since they won the Stanley Cup. Thank you guys for tuning in, and have a wonderful day.